Hello once again, it is Wolf Johnson here with another reaction. This time it is The Tale of Jenny and Screech, the full version. Check it out, I'm going to watch it through, and I'm not going to stop it between songs because I think there's something to being fully immersed in the story. Let's go. Another establishing shot. The establishing riff. You can't tell me this is not Bard-like. Man in the street with a guitar. Telling us a story.
It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny walked alone, she was dragging her feet. She was heading back home to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor because she walked it about 1,000 times before.
He's got such a wonderful tone.
Can you blame?
It's beautiful.
The very same night in a different place, there walked this hooded young youth by the name of James. He was 14 years old and out of his brain he'd been smoking ganja with the boys. James, he grew up to be a kid of the street. His mates called him Screech, he was quick on his feet. He was a liar, a thief, at 14 years old the devil had set his sights on his soul. As Jenny walked home all alone, she felt scared. Usually she was alright, but it was like there was something in the air. A divine intervention telling her to beware, maybe intuition bugging her and making her so scared. Sirens sounded in the distance at the beat of Jenny's feet. A symphony of the night that echoes crime on London streets. Jenny turns a corner, their eyes they meet. Up poor go Jenny, a boy named Screech. Give me all your money, bitch, give it to me. If you cooperate, then you'll soon be free. I want your purse, your phone, don't fucking look at me. I mean it. Bitch, are you listening to me? Jenny freezes statue like a lady shakes stalactite. Feel like liquid nitrogen in the dark night. She tried to find strength to move, but stayed as still as a statue in high-heeled shoes. What the hell you playing at? You playing games with me? I swear to fucking God, I'll slice the rosy off your cheeks. You think I don't mean it, girl? You don't know me. The last thing you see will be a boy code. Screech reached with the sheath of the blade, with the teeth that could bite through steel and slice concrete, and he swung possessed with the devil in his chest, and the statue she was turned to butter in her breath. It was a quiet, dark night in an empty street somewhere in London City. Jenny lay still on the cold concrete. She's found somewhere to sleep. Well, she knew this town, she knew this floor, 'cause she'd walked it about 1,000 times before. I guess that she escaped. It's such a shame.
Such like a... He embodies the storytelling, you know what I mean? Like he embodied those characters. Physically as well. The next part, I'm guessing. Yeah, this is ominous. Being a little bit darker here. The handheld camera adds so much to lend the idea that this is a living and breathing kind of performance.
Our story, it starts right at the end of the life of poor Jenny, clocked out like Big Ben. Dear Screech, dear boy, where did he go? He melted into the black night just like snow.
And I love the narrator takes a neutral kind of
Patrick.
The narrator is the bard.
Please open the door. I think I fucked up Patrick. Really fucked up, man. I'm not sure. I got crazy. Left this lady lying still on the floor. I think I killed her, Patrick. Come on, man. I can't knock no more. But Screech kept on knocking till his knuckles became sore. But there's no sign of Patrick down.
Such a smooth transition between those characters.
Refuge for our villain, for the bitter hands of fate, with something far more sinister in mind that does away.
And his breathing. He's acting.
Hey, babe, you in? Nah, nothing really. I'm just a bit tired. Listen, can I swing around yours for a few moments? I just really miss you, babe. What the fuck do you mean you're busy? You fucking bitch! For fuck's sakes!
That is not just a small detail.
Approaching like a banshee in the night.
Wow, it's like that.
Justice cutting like the sharpest knife. But Screech was never one to run, not one to miss a fight. One hand upon his blade, he turned to face the blue lights. Come on then, you fucking cunts, let's fucking have you then. I am Screech, I'm the boss, I'm the ender of men. You think that uniform you're wearing means that you own these streets? These are my fucking streets, and they call me fucking Screech. An officer who said that 6'3", working London on the night shift. What he didn't think he'd see was a boy running at him like an animal possessed. With no time to hesitate, he fired 4 bullets at Screech's chest.
These details.
Story, it ends right at the start. Young Screech and poor Jenny lying 1 street apart. An officer shaken by the boy that he claimed. 2 bodies lay lifeless, and it's such a shame.
Shame.
It's such a shame.
That takes stamina, like empathetic stamina, to hop between characters, a narrator, different emotions like that so quickly. Okay. This is one that I've seen already. But I watched it without the context, so it changes everything. This is so taunting now. This establishing riff and shot. He's got like a full toolbox.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beeps and bloodstains, she saw a lady weep. She's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's tale.
I missed that the first time. Sounding like a tape rewinding.
was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet she fell fast. See, Stevie was a wrong un, but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance.
I love this transition.
The devil comes to dance.
It's subtle and beautiful.
Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddy whack, one to the jaw and the tooth spat, detached fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I want to do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet.
He returns to this.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins are lying side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
Damn. That hits a lot harder. With that added context, I feel sad. The first thing that makes me think of is, let me make sure I have the story straight here. Twins are separated at birth because their mother, who lived a kind of rough life, had a rough childhood, was killed. The two twins who were separated ended up, the brother killed the sister, not knowing, because he had a rough childhood as well. The first thing that makes me think about is what happens to our kids. And I find myself, whenever I have rage or something towards somebody, or some kind of not malice, but, ill feeling towards somebody, or some misunderstanding, where it approaches maybe a feeling of hatred, disdain, I tend to fall into this moment where I kind of picture them as children, because, people want to love and nurture children into fully functional humans. But when they're children, they're so helpless. They're just subjected to the world. And my hatred goes away, or my ill feeling towards people tends to go away when I remember, because it reminds me, like, we're all just somebody's children. We're all people. That really, like, I'm having a hard time even thinking about the music. And to be honest with you, the reason why I do reactions, or how I resonate with music, how I react to music, is not the technicalities on things. I mean, an artist's intent when they release music, for a large part, is like, it's irrelevant. The technicalities to the consumer or the person interfacing with the art after it's put out, those technicalities are largely irrelevant to the broader demographic. What I want to do for something like this, and for any kind of reaction, is primarily to anchor in on if it makes me feel something, and what does it make me feel. I don't need to break down the lyrics. I listen to them, and I might have misinterpreted them at some point, but the overall feeling that I got is, well, I don't think I misinterpreted, but it's possible. Lyrics are up for interpretation. Like, it just made me think about humanity, think about my own humanity, think about our own humanity collectively. And as a society, we now know the result of generational traumas, cycles of violence and learned behavior, or in the absence of role models, kind of how we develop. And it's sad when you put the babies at the end, it's like a punch to the gut, because you realize, like, that's the same way that I feel when I have ill feeling towards people. Like, I have all these emotions that I build up, and then it's like, these are just babies. These are somebody's children. And then it's tragic to think that we go from, like, so much to see each other as so little at times. Damn. I love how it's delivered, how that's delivered. That kind of performance here is so holistic, how Ren embodies it physically, musically, the camera work, and the, like, in a musical sense, arranging a song story first, as a story and not a song first. It's different than you're writing a song where you start having all these rules to consider. Oh, chorus, verse, chorus. What's the hook? What's the hook? And Ren isn't doing that here. And this is again why I think Ren is a brilliant artist, and not referring to intellectually, though I do think you need to have some kind of intellectual capacity at a high level to kind of produce all aspects of this with such proficiency. He's brilliant in the sense that he's looking at things differently. You know what I mean? That he's holding a guitar and he knows how to communicate with it, with without it being for the purpose of chorus versus chorus. Like you have to almost create and have a musical language for your instrument to be able to support the story. Like when he's doing the rewinding of the timeline on his guitar. Like a lot of people wouldn't think to do that, or they might splice in something in post production, but to start to incorporate the range of sound that your instrument can produce, and then reinterpret it into things that are familiar with people, even if they don't understand music. That's a skill unto itself. Of the three, I think Violet's Tale is the most catchy. So like I would listen to Violet's Tale in isolation, kind of on Spotify. The other two, I would probably listen to them, but I get the most kind of joy. Like I feel like Violet's Tale serves the most for just listening. Just if I just want to listen to music, I think it serves that kind of musical sensibility the most. And I think that's just because my preference to like the melody, and that kind of how's it go? London, in the establishing vocal kind of melody. Like I just find that to be really catchy, and I like being in that space. It's sad, but sonically, it's really appealing to me. Not to say that they're not all good, but they all, like, in totality, it hits a lot harder. I think this is a great evidence of proficient storytelling. Like I would watch this. Ren should be like he should. I think he'd be a great kind of element to like a movie or something. As a bard, to be honest with you. Like I feel like there's another show that's kind of like this. Not like this story, but where there's a guy singing songs and he kind of delivers the audience to. Like it's essentially a bard in modern times. But I'd be interested to just kind of see like these stories fleshed out a bit, or different stories. Because there is something to be said about kind of maintaining the integrity and limiting the audience to only what is told. You can certainly over-explain things, which maybe I run the risk of doing right now. Yeah. I mean, this reminded me of a time when I was working as a mover, so like residential moving people out of their home. And we were moving somebody who lived in a subsidized housing block. And I'll never forget, it was a single mother and two children. Like they were all lovely people, and they did not have much. They were surrounded by darkness, absolute darkness. A lot of drugs, and there's like murders and violence. Just danger at all times around them. And visibly, you could tell that this mother was trying, with what little resources she had, she was trying to create a life of normalcy. So like nothing was new, but everything was clean and taken care of to the best of their ability. They have like plants hanging out. It's the only home that had plants and like decorations outside and stuff like that. Like really trying. Because in a situation like that, I don't know what brought them there. I kind of grew up in I had a single mother. My mom was a single mother. I was homeless at a very young age, so having left my mom, this kind of hits pretty close to me. And other members of my family, my mom had 4 sisters, and all of them were raised by kind of not a great dad or a great mom. And they all fell into a cycle of connecting with just unsavory types, just people who aren't very nice, and they've all had kids, and they have all fallen into a cycle of this tragic violence, these generational traumas, and now, like, some are in prison, some are just like addicted to all kinds of drugs. Not to suggest that they're inherently bad people, but they're just in this situation. They don't have the tools or the know-how to do anything different. They've never been shown any different. They didn't know how to look for anything different. They've always been immersed in this. These things that we have, when you have little, you don't have much, and you're surrounded by darkness. Seeing that single mother as we were moving them out and taking great care of their things that other people might look at as junk. Like moving boxes of photos and things like that. It really resonated to me because, like, this is a beautiful thing to see, is that they didn't have much, and she was trying to produce something beautiful. And maybe it wasn't that hard for her to try. Maybe if that's just what she saw. You know, when you're in it, there is still beauty to be found in absolute darkness. So many of us dismiss darkness as kind of a negative connotation, but my God, sometimes that's all people have is darkness. And to dismiss darkness in totality dismisses the things that maybe other people value in such high regard. It's beautiful. And you could hear that in how these songs are put together, how the beautiful kind of pitchy and melodic narrator would deliver us to these scenes of darkness and manic kind of aggression, and then snap back. It's a balance again between light and darkness. This tragedy of these murders, the loss of the mother, but also the propagation of life that would later end in tragedy, but there's still like this beautiful thing that happened initially. I mean, that is the totality of the human experience, is good things and bad things, the balance of light and dark. And we know that as humans, good times don't last forever. And we know that as humans, hopefully bad times don't last forever. You can see it, like, in different parts of the world, people who have nothing, and you still see children smiling and singing and laughing. I don't know if that is relevant, like what people want to hear me kind of say about this song or about Ren. But the bottom line is this: as a piece of art, this made me feel something. And if that energy is not what we're talking about, then why the F are we reacting to anything? It doesn't matter, how well he's playing his guitar. It's fine. It doesn't matter how well or like how, technically proficient or not his singing is. It's fantastic. He's clearly a talented, multifaceted musician. But his genius, in my opinion, is in his capacity to see things differently and to communicate them in like a holistic sense. A way that is visual, not only from the video. The video is fantastic. I love the compilation and the concept, but you could see him embody the characters and switch from a narrator to this manic person to somebody who's sad, somebody who's violent, back and forth, like seamlessly. Like that takes stamina, and to be able to do that in a believable way, that is no like small feat. That is a fantastic trait of an artist to have. You need empathy. You need to have a strong empathetic foundation to be able to convincingly embody those kinds of perspectives. Wow. I love that. Thanks for watching.